In what weather experts are describing as the fiercest tropical cyclone to hit Hainan in more than 40 years, Typhoon Kajiki slammed into the island on Sunday night. It brought howling winds reaching up to 152 miles per hour, that's about 244 kilometers per hour, and heavy downpours that hammered the southern shores of this lush Chinese province. It's truly alarming how these storms seem to be getting stronger each year, isn't it? Makes you wonder about the role of global warming in all this. The typhoon, which built up strength quickly while crossing the South China Sea, forced thousands of people from their homes, wrecked key facilities, and really pushed the boundaries of how ready the area was for such a disaster. Preparation is key, but when nature throws something this intense at you, even the best plans get tested to their limits. Known as the 13th named storm in the 2025 Pacific typhoon season, Kajiki started out as a strong tropical storm on Saturday morning. It then exploded in power, turning into a Category 2 typhoon by early Sunday, with its center heading straight for Hainan's southern edge. Rapid intensification like this is becoming more common, and it's a scary reminder that we might have less time to react in the future. Reports from the Back Perch Weather Network noted wind gusts over 150 miles per hour as the storm's eyewall grazed the bustling coastal city of Sanya. This marks the most powerful typhoon Sanya has ever faced, stated Kai Chimua, a representative from the Hainan Weather Office. The path veered north at the 11th hour, slamming the city's northeast side with the worst of it. Commentary: shifts like that can make all the difference, sometimes sparing one area while dooming another. It's like the storm has a mind of its own. Outer bands from Kajiki poured down 250 to 400 millimeters of rain on southern Hainan, sparking sudden floods, earth slides, and blackouts everywhere. After hitting land, the storm weakened a bit from friction with the terrain, but it was still a major threat as it headed toward Vietnam. Even as it loses some steam, the rain and winds linger, causing ongoing havoc. That's why recovery can't start until it's fully passed. Ahead of the storm's arrival, Hainan officials kicked into high gear with top-tier emergency measures. In Sanya, over 31,000 folks were moved out of risky spots along the coast and in flood-prone zones. Evacuations on this scale save lives, but they also disrupt everything. Imagine leaving your home not knowing what you'll return to. They set up temporary safe spots in schools and local halls, stocked with basics like food, meds, and staff to help. We've called back all 30,769 fishing boats in the area, explained Wu Jiancho, a senior official in Hainan's emergency department. Over 21,000 fishermen made it safely to land. Commentary: the fishing industry takes a huge hit in these events. Those boats are livelihoods for so many families. Trains, buses, and other transport stopped running, classes and work were cancelled, and all the tourist spots closed up tight. In Sanya's hotels, notices went out in Chinese, English, and Russian, telling visitors to stay put and offering things to do inside. Tourism is big in Hainan, so keeping international guests calm is smart. It prevents panic and bad press. I'm feeling okay about it, shared Yelena Rostova, a visitor from Russia at the Atlantis resort in Sanya. The team here has been amazing, keeping us informed and secure. Stories like hers highlight how good service can turn a scary situation into something manageable. Videos blowing up online showed the storm's raw power, palms folding in half from the gale, huge waves smashing barriers, and roads turned into rivers of mud. One popular video caught a guy dodging a falling tree by mere seconds. Social media spreads these moments fast, raising awareness but also sometimes causing unnecessary fear if not fact-checked. Up in Haikou, the main city, winds ripped through streets, stripping roofs and breaking glass. Rescue teams pulled all-nighters clearing wreckage and fixing electricity, facing dangers head-on. Shout out to those first responders, they're the real heroes, risking it all while the rest of us hunker down. I've lived here forever and nothing compares, said Wang Wen, a longtime Sanya local. The roar was like a massive train, windows rattled non-stop. We hid in the bathroom with the kids for what felt like forever. Commentary: personal accounts like this make the stats feel real. It's not just numbers, it's families enduring terror. Weather pros tie Kajiki's quick ramp up to hotter waters in the South China Sea, something often blamed on shifting climates. These kinds of storms are happening more often and hitting harder, noted Dr. Lu Meng, an expert at China's Science Academy. Lead times are shrinking, and the damage potential is skyrocketing. Climate change isn't abstract anymore, it's fueling monsters like this, and we need global action yesterday. Kajiki echoes other big hitters lately, like Halong and Yagi, which tore through Asia's coasts. This trend is worrying, especially for crowded shorelines facing surprise attacks from the weather. Commentary: if patterns hold, we're in for tougher times. Building smarter and greener might be our best defense. As the typhoon pushed west over the Gulf of Tonkin, Vietnam started big evacuations for its expected hit. Over 586,000 residents moved from provinces like Thanh Hoa, Quang Binh, Thua Tien Hue, and Da Nang. Airports closed, planes grounded, and ships stayed in harbor. Coordination across borders is crucial. One country's storm becomes another's nightmare. This is a super risky, speedy cyclone, warned Vietnam's weather service. Winds could top 180 kilometers per hour, with rain over 400 millimeters. Floods and slides are coming fast. Comparing it to past disasters helps people grasp the severity and act quickly. They likened Kajiki to Yagi from last year, which took almost 300 lives and racked up $3.3 billion in costs. Learning from history is vital, but repeating mistakes costs too much in lives and money. Amid the mess in Sanya, tales of toughness shone through. Helpers passed out meals and drinks to those stuck. Shops became refuges for the needy. Health workers treated wounds and offered emotional care without pause. Crises bring out the best in people. It's inspiring to see community bonds strengthen. I watched folks team up, sharing what they had and looking after seniors, recounted Li Xiaoyun, a teacher who made her classroom a haven. Moments like this redefine what togetherness means. Commentary: resilience isn't just about infrastructure, it's the human spirit that rebuilds societies. With clearer weather as Kajiki headed deeper inland, Hainan kicked off cleanup. They're still tallying the toll, but it looks like billions in fixes for roads, wires, and signals. The aftermath is often longer and costlier than the storm itself. Rebuilding takes months or years. The local leaders vowed quick fixes. "We'll bounce back," declared Governor Shen Xiaoming. "First things first, get basics running and help everyone." Strong leadership reassures, but follow-through is what counts. Global relief groups are gearing up to help, and nearby areas send aid crews. International support speeds recovery and fosters goodwill. Typhoon Kajiki's strike on Hainan underscores how mighty nature can be and why being ready matters. The response was solid, but specialists say worse could come. We can't control the weather, but we can prepare better. We need tough buildings, better alerts, and ways to adapt to climate shifts, urged Dr. Liu. This isn't a one-off, it's a sign of things ahead. He's spot on. Investing now prevents bigger pains later. Let's hope lessons from Kajiki lead to real change. According to weather experts, this typhoon is on the move, and it's not done yet. By Tuesday evening, it's expected to downgrade into a low-pressure system and roll into Nan, a northern province in Thailand. For those who don't know, Nan is this beautiful, mountainous region, but it's about to get a lot wetter. The Thai Meteorological Department has been tracking this storm closely, and they've got some critical updates for us. Map showing the storm's path from the South China Sea to Thailand. Picture this: on Sunday afternoon, around 4 p.m., Kajiki was churning in the upper South China Sea, roughly 450 kilometers southeast of Vinh City, Vietnam. That's where things started getting intense. The forecast says it'll hit Vinh City as a full-blown typhoon, then weaken into a tropical storm by Monday. You know, it's wild how fast these storms can change. One day it's a typhoon, the next it's a tropical storm, and by Tuesday morning, it's expected to be a depression. After that, it'll cross into Laos and finally reach Thailand's Nan province as a low-pressure system by Tuesday evening. But here's where it gets serious for Thailand. The upper northeastern regions are bracing for heavy rain from Sunday through Tuesday, while the northern provinces, like Chiang Mai and Nan, are in for a wet week from Monday to Wednesday. If you're in these areas, grab your umbrellas and maybe some boots, because it's going to pour. The provinces in the storm's direct path, like Chiang Rai, Lampong, Loei, and Udon Thani, are especially at risk for heavy downpours. We're talking potential flash floods and water pooling in low-lying areas. Now, not every region will feel the same impact. The eastern and western parts of southern Thailand might catch a break with less intense effects. That's a bit of good news for those areas, right? But don't let your guard down. The Thai Meteorological Department also pointed out that the southwest monsoon is powering up over the Andaman Sea, Thailand, and the Gulf of Thailand. Combine that with a monsoon trough stretching across northern Thailand and into a low-pressure zone over central Vietnam, and you've got a recipe for some wild weather. Here's a heads up for anyone in these regions: the weather folks are warning about flash floods, standing water, and gusty winds. Flash floods are no joke. They can turn a quiet street into a river in minutes. And if you're near the coast, listen up. The upper Andaman Sea and the upper Gulf of Thailand are seeing waves between 2 and 3 meters high, sometimes even taller during thunderstorms. Down in the lower Andaman Sea and lower Gulf, waves are hitting around 2 meters, but they could spike higher during storms. If you're a sailor, this is not the week for a leisurely boat trip. Authorities are urging all vessels to stay cautious, and small boats in the upper regions, they're being told to stay docked. Extremely rough seas are anticipated across the northern East Sea, including the Hong Sa Special Zone, the Gulf of Tonkin, and coastal waters from Tan Hoa to Hue. Storm surges of 0.5 to 1.5 meters are expected, with sea levels potentially exceeding 3.5 meters in areas like Hondo, Hainan, and Samsun in Tan Hoa Province. Low-lying coastal areas and estuaries face significant risks of flooding, particularly on the evening of August 25. On land, strong winds of levels 8 to 10 are expected, with gusts up to level 13 near the storm's center, affecting Tan Hoa to Quang Tri starting late on August 24. Northern provinces from Quang Ninh to Ninh may experience gale-force winds up to level 8. Heavy rainfall is forecast across the Red River Delta and central regions, with totals of 100 to 150 millimeters, and some areas exceeding 250 millimeters. In Tan Hoa to northern Quang Tri, rainfall could reach 200 to 400 millimeters, with isolated areas potentially seeing over 700 millimeters, increasing risks of flash floods and landslides. Authorities in Tan Hoa, Quang Tri, Hue, and Dayong have developed evacuation plans for approximately 152,387 households, affecting nearly 587,000 people. 7 coastal provinces, starting from Ninh Bang Nai, have banned fishing vessels from going to sea. By August 24 morning, border guard forces had notified and guided nearly 60,000 fishing boats, carrying about 249,000 crew members, to avoid high-risk areas, with over 49,000 vessels already in safe ports. The north-central region faces significant agricultural risks, with nearly 300,000 hectares of rice, 77,000 hectares of fruit crops, and 57,000 hectares of rubber plantations vulnerable to storm damage. Additionally, over 5,700 fish cages and 384 aquaculture watch huts are in exposed areas. Reservoirs in the region, currently at 71 to 82% capacity, are being managed to reduce downstream flood risks, with some undergoing repairs or reinforcement. The government has issued urgent directives, with Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh calling for comprehensive emergency preparedness. Ministries, provincial authorities, and military units are tasked with securing dikes, dams, and communication lines. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has requested assistance from China and the Philippines for Vietnamese fishermen seeking shelter. The Vietnam People's Army is on high alert, with military zones 3, 4, and 5 collaborating with local authorities to reinforce infrastructure and support evacuations in landslide-prone areas. Over 346,000 personnel and 8,200 vehicles, including aircraft and ships, are mobilized for rescue and relief operations. Friends, that's all in this video. To get more updates like this, subscribe to this channel and keep your friends and others updated by sharing the video.